fourth principle of Unitarian Universalism is to affirm and promote a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. In the original iteration of the principles in 1961, this was actually our first principle: to strengthen one another in a free and disciplined search for truth as the foundation of our religious fellowship. We now speak about meaning as well as truth, and I appreciate this addition. Meaning is considering what fulfills you, what connects you, what shapes your life. And while I don't very often refer to the fourth principle explicitly, it seems to me that it is sort of the essential function of any religious group to help people find truth and meaning in their lives. So we're a place of truth seekers and meaning makers, a place where people come to heal, come to explore, come to be with others who have the same questioning and hopeful spirit. Now, as Unitarian Universalists, we have a very expansive shared truth. It's one that encompasses beliefs in gods and goddesses and no divinity at all, that sees people as part of the web of life and rests on the scientific understandings we hold today. And within that great container of the chalice, you are invited to bring your truths and meanings. Each of us contributes a part. We don't claim that there is a single great meaning to life, that Jesus will save us, or that enlightenment awaits us. And that means Unitarian Universalism as a religion can be challenging. There's great comfort in being given answers to life's unanswerable questions. We need comfort more now than ever. The COVID-19 pandemic was receding, and now cases are exploding. You know, when superfan Nav Badia has to miss a Raptors game, something is seriously off. And so when the world feels uncertain, we look for certainty. We want meaning. We want to make sense of what is happening. We want to make sense out of all this chaos around us. Meaning grows from four roots: belonging to a group or a community, because this creates connections with others, and you feel accepted and welcome and part of the group, and you sense belonging. Belonging is a key source of meaning, your identity. Meaning also arises from a sense of purpose, from having a goal to pursue. And that might be a pilgrimage to Mecca, or creating a beautiful garden, or running a marathon. A third path to having meaning is the stories we tell about ourselves in the world. We see ourselves as helpful, we tend to help others more often if that's the story we tell of who we are. We see the world as meaningful, we'll find meaning. Our stories shape us. And finally, meaning arises from experiences of transcendence. And that might be sensing that presence of a loving God, or drinking in the view from a mountaintop. Those moments of awe when you get beyond yourself and glimpse the mystery. So meaning grows from four roots: from belonging, a sense of purpose, from the stories we tell, and experiencing the mystery. This chalice community doesn't offer the comfort of a singular shared meaning. Jesus might be saving you, but I don't think he's saving me. But we do offer these four roots from which you can find your sense of meaning. We're a place to belong. We have a mission, a purpose to deepen, nurture, and act. We tell hopeful stories about people and the way we want the world to be. There might even be a transcendent moment or two. These are the gifts of religious community, and it's up to each of us to take these gifts and unwrap their meaning. What meaning matters to you? Where do you derive a sense of meaning? While we consider the gifts we are given, we're going to enjoy a musical gift from our own Helen Gray. As people of the chalice, we are truth seekers and meaning makers. And as I said before, this isn't an easy path. We don't provide cozy answers that you just put in your pocket and hold close. Instead, Unitarian Universalism supports each of us to make our meaning, knowing that that sense of meaning will change over the years, knowing that we'll have periods of struggle. We're here for each other. Consider this Christmas season with its many layers: solstice origins, the birth of a savior, cultural traditions, consumer capitalism, music, food, festivities. It'd be hard to find any meaning in all of that, just a sense of obligation. We don't have to accept any overall meaning of the holidays. We can discover what makes this season special to us, whether that is time with those we love, time to give generously, time to enjoy a great feast. Each of us will have a couple of things that truly matter, that make Christmas Christmas for us. And it's good to remember that meaning is often a small thing. British author Virginia Woolf wrote, "What is the meaning of life?" That was all a simple question, one that tended to close in on one with the years. The great revelation had never come. The great revelation perhaps never did. Instead, there are little daily miracles, illuminations, matches struck unexpectedly in the dark. Well, the idea of truth-seeking and meaning-making is often that long journey of pilgrimage into the unknown. It can also be found close by in those little daily miracles, those illuminations. I like to think of meaning-making as a dance, forever being created in the moment by those in the room, each person creating their own meaning, their own steps in their own way, and yet part of that pattern of swaying, stepping, design. I have a story to tell. Word comes to the Jewish people of a small Russian town that a much beloved and very wise rabbi is going to pay them a visit. And all the town people get busy preparing, cleaning houses, cleaning streets. Everything must be beautiful for this very wise rabbi. Elders are polishing the glasses and the plates, thinking of questions about heaven to ask. Babies are washed and washed again to be ready for a blessing. Many are busy preparing sumptuous foods for a great feast. Young couples are readying their finest clothing, waiting for the wise rabbi to bless their marriages. The Talmudic students prepare and polish questions to ask of the wise rabbi, for surely she has much knowledge of the sacred scriptures to share. And at last the day arrives and the rabbi comes to a town buzzing with anticipation. All the townspeople gather in the village square. The Talmudic students are so eager, so afraid they might not get their question answered, they begin to crowd around the rabbi and each ask their question at the same time. What a noise! In between, the students' parents are holding up babies for a blessing. So many babies, they begin to cry. What a noise! Young couples wanting recognition jostle beside elders wanting questions answered, all trying to get closer. They yell their questions at the rabbi too. What a noise! The rabbi smiles and raises a hand. And the people begin to settle down, and after some final mutters and movement, they all find the room to stand quietly. The rabbi holds her hand steady. They all listen. The breeze stirs the leaves of the trees. Birds chirp in the warm sunlight. And the rabbi begins to hum a tune. She closes her eyes and sways back and forth. The children join in, humming and swaying. And soon all of the townspeople are humming and swaying. Those with pipes, with drums begin to play. And the rabbi begins to dance. First in slow, measured steps, tapping here, tapping there, and quicker, she begins to spin around the square, and people follow, joining in the dance, till the square is a mass of people dancing, spinning, singing, playing, clapping. The joy of their dance joins with the joy of the trees and the birds. Joy shimmered in the sunlight and the soft white clouds. The land seemed to be dancing with the dancers. Hours pass before the festivities finally end, and the people sit down in the square, tired, still, content. The rabbi, leaning against a tree, looks around and smiles. She says, "I trust I have answered all your questions." Sometimes meaning doesn't come articulated in words or thoughts and concepts. It comes in song, in movement, in being present. It may be enough meaning to simply be here now together. Let us be truth seekers and meaning makers, following our fourth principle, knowing this chalice community is here to hold us large enough to hold us all. So say we all.